Hey kids, it's me, Johnny Fox here at Snikt. It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock. I'm not going to be along for much longer. We've got a great guy to talk to today. We can just make sure everything's working. Should be arriving any moment. And we're going to talk some video games, among other things. But first and foremost, I think video games. Sure, you all watch a lot of YouTube. I'm going to give you a reason to watch a lot more. We're going to talk to Mr. Jack Davies. Now. And go. Oh, I'm on technology. He is coming. I've met him earlier. He's a lovely guy. You're going to enjoy this. So, yeah. Don't do. Hey.
I'd flip the camera around. Hey, old man.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Stanfordplays, Mr. Jack Davies.
The one and only.
Yeah. So, I'll shut the fuck up for a few minutes. You tell the boys and girls who you are and what you do.
Right. So, yeah, I'm Jack Davies. Basically, I'm a gamer and streamer. Been doing YouTube for about 7 years now. Actually, a couple of days ago marked my 7th year on YouTube. And currently, what I've been doing for the past few years are gaming walkthroughs, and currently trying to set up my own podcasts and that, trying to get people on. So try and get like different topics and subjects along the way so we can spread more awareness.
Fantastic. It's a grind though, isn't it? The YouTube is.
YouTube God, yeah.
You solely YouTube, you're not venturing onto Twitch at this point.
No, I tried doing Twitch for quite a while, but it's just not for me, really. I think basically for me to do YouTube, it's I can just do the videos when I want and how I want, whilst it's like I think Twitch is more demanding and it's more streaming like almost every day, and I basically haven't got the mentality for to do all that.
Yeah, I hear that. So when you pick your game of choice, are you the kind of guy do you play what you want to play, what you enjoy playing, or do you try and play the trending game, the cool game, the game that you think might get the likes and hits? And
kind of both, really. So like at the minute, I play like my classic games that have been out for like maybe possibly for a few years. So like say I've been playing the game for like 2 years now. It came out 2 years ago. They still got content rolling in. I'm still playing on my channel. I've currently just played the new Suicide Squad game, and that just came out like I think about a few weeks ago now, and I've completely finished that. I've still got to upload loads more on that.
So that came out to a little bit of mixed reviews, should we say? Yeah. So what? But if you were putting some serious hours into that and thought it was worth uploading content, on the channel you're trying to grow, you must have thought it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, I just do what I can, really. I mean, I'm the type of person that will do any game that I decide to do, but I will take suggestions on like what to play, but I do have my limits on like what I get suggested. So like, I'm not really a big horror video game person. Although I do love my horror movies, I'm just not really more into horror games. Not to say that I'm like, scared of playing them, but it's just not like my type of thing. I'm interested in them, but it's just when do I actually have the time to play like these type of games in my own time, and where do I go forward from it?
Yeah, you know what? I don't much the same. I love a horror movie. Don't have, I think, hardly any off the top of my head. I'd say I really haven't got any. All right, especially like the first person survival.
Yeah, yeah.
which I think is just like so overdone. Like I think I played one or two like years ago, and then every time I see a new one, they all just look the fucking same by all accounts. So I think that lessens me interest. You know, I'm going to be missing some fantastic stories.
Yeah,
but
I think the one that I think the one that's actually changed quite a lot. Where I remember my first person horror game was Resident Evil 7. Considering that I played the classic Resident Evils growing up, I really don't say anything on 6. That's still my least favorite out of all of them.
I don't think that's particularly controversial. I think
no, definitely not.
I think that's universal agreement.
We
thought it was 5, and then they beat themselves.
We had Ball punching Chris, and that just that tuned me out. No, but I think what Resident Evil 7 clearly did for me, at the time I was not even into horror, and I went out of horror because I felt like we were getting a lot of reboots, and it all felt the same. And when Resident Evil 7 came out, it kind of put me back into like, oh yeah, I'm gonna shit myself playing this. It's in first person. It's gonna be quite different to what I played. And I will admit this: the first time I played it, I got halfway through the game. I got to a certain point when there was like this crazy woman. I think her name was Marguerite Baker. She was like in spider form, and she pops out this window. I paused the game, and that was it. No more. I quit from that bit, and I came back to it a couple of years back to get ready for Resident Evil 8, and it thought like, oh, you know what, this bitch ain't scary. I'm not getting this. I've got a shotgun in my hand. That's it. But yeah, it definitely changed the landscape for me, my perspective of horror games.
So what was So let's just go way back. Let's go to the roots. What got you hooked on gaming in the first place?
Wow.
Back in the day, much younger days.
Right. So this is going back to when I was like 3 years old. My mum surprised me on my third birthday. She got me a PlayStation 2 and a new setup and like a small TV, and it was one of the greatest things I had. The best thing as well, the first game I played was Sonic Heroes, and that was the one game that got me into Sonic the Hedgehog. The Hedgehog, sorry.
You see, as an old grey man who used to be a little Sega boy back in the day, like the golden age of gaming, if you will. Some people refer to it, the great console wars. With Sega Nintendo. Time and again, I still hear, it was a PlayStation 2. But what was it? Tomb Raider? Was it Devil May Cry? Was it Final Fantasy? No, it was still fucking Sonic. Yeah. In one way or another. It still was Sonic that got a guy.
Sonic still rules to this day, man. Like I still enjoy the Sonic games. There were quite a few that I grew up playing. Like the Sonic Heroes is definitely my very first one, and then I went to play. I think it was Sonic Unleashed when he was like the werewolf. It was like the werehog, I think they called it, and I thought that was pretty cool. That was awesome. And then we got Sonic 06, and wow. I thought, you know what? You had a lot of good characters. The story itself was all over the place. I mean, you had a great villain. A villain that has not been mentioned or been seen in any Sonic games or media since 2006. And then you had one of the characters who had his game debut, and he has not had like let's say because obviously Sonic's the main guy. Shadow, he's had his own game. We never got another game with him. And Silver, who was in it, he's never got his own game. He's the most underrated character in that universe, who I think should actually deserve his own game, like his own lore, his own origin story. That would be something that I would love to play. But I would love to see more spin-off games. I would love to see more, because the universe of that game, like you can go for miles with characters and having spin-offs and like having their own stories, like build them up and then like putting them all into a game together, like something like Super Smash Bros. You've got all them characters into one game. And I guess because I remember playing Sonic Forces and they tried to do it like that, and yeah,
all those franchises are hit and miss. I think Mario's much the same. There's like, in one form or another, there's something like 3 Mario games a year, whether it's the legit next installment of like Mario, or whether it's a 3D spin-off, an RPG, Paper Mario, Mario Sports, Mario whatever.
Yeah.
But to just to give the little blue guy some due as well, the Sonic version of Mario Kart, I don't know if you came across that, but the Sega and Sonic All Stars Racing, or Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, they actually did 2. And as Mario Kart knockoffs go, and there are many, it ain't too bad. I mean,
no.
me and the boy at the time, even the missus put some hours into that with us. So like, it was good family memories, if nothing else, from that.
Yeah, because like I really didn't grow up playing Mario that much. I do remember having the DS, and I was on Mario Kart and that all the time, and then it went to 3DS and I was on that one. Something about that, but playing Mario Kart, like, no matter how they improve it, I'm not shitting on the game, but it's just like it always felt the same to me. Like you had the original, that was perfect. You had like sort of a remake, a reboot, which you added the old tracks, you've added some new tracks, new characters. Still the same thing, you're still racing around and that, and then you had like other ideas for Mario to try and make him more popular again. And I say that there was like a war between Mario and Sonic at the time. You know, Mario, I think, was Mario first, I believe, before Sonic.
Yeah.
So like, Mario was simple. You played as a plumber, jumping across these blocks, jumping on mushrooms, trying to save the princess that would always get captured in the castle, and we have no idea where she's gone, and she's ended up in another castle, and that used to piss me off. And you have to wait till the next game. But with Sonic mainly, I feel like it can generally get a good storyline, even if there's no talking in it. Like, I know what's going to go on. You're there going through all these different zones. You're there to like get past enemies, to save the animals, and then you go and defeat Robotnik, which is cool. Go to the sequel, you get more characters, you get more lore, you get more backstory, and it might feel the same, but there's something more pure to play as a blue hedgehog, as a yellow fox, as a red echidna, anything like that. It always gets a good kick out of it.
Yeah, we're just going to give a little shout out, if you can see down in the comments. We've got the Retro Believer. If you want to check out that channel, not to big up you any, we're not rivals. We're all a big community here, right? Some great shit from Retro Rob, all over socials. To more of the, not just the old school, some new school, but obviously, as the name would suggest, some great retro stuff. So while we're on that, Sonic Heroes, and the PlayStation 2 then was the first thing that really got you into it. So, but retro gaming, like going further back than that, is very cool right now. It's very hot. I keep meeting so many people so much younger than me that have ridiculously awesome collections that they're picking up, paying ridiculous prices for as well. But that's how collecting goes. Something becomes collectible, it goes from trash to treasure very quickly. Things are only worth what people are willing to pay for them. Is kind of the thing. So is that anything? Are you getting into that at all? Is that a thing for you, or you?
I've always been into my retro games a little bit. I love Pac-Man for a start. Pac-Man is really awesome to me. It's so simple to play. And then I've had what was it, Cubert? Like Cubert. Cubert's awesome. Love that. Even though that pisses me off a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I think we all know that.
Oh God, yeah. God, yeah. And I guess, like, because since I've been used to playing more of the newer games and all that, you do tend to forget what made those games in the start, like how they all started, because
Yeah, man. Yeah.
you can go and say like, all right, so let's say let's say they make a new Pac-Man game, and which I don't think they have done in quite a while. It just starts off as a 2D game, and you go up and down these lanes collecting these white dots, and through as you're being chased by four ghosts. You could go into like if they make a 3D version of the game where it's like, oh, you actually control Pac-Man. He has legs, he has arms for some reason,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, and new players, they'll be like, oh right, so this is cool, this is awesome, you know, I'm playing as Pac-Man and that, but they might have not had the experience of playing the original and finding out how it all began.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the obvious choices. Well, I'll bore people with too much old man shit, but yeah, but it's Pac-Man, Space Invaders, obviously, as we mentioned. I mean, essentially, however you want to dress it up, decades later, you got Space Invaders. So, you know, you're at the bottom of the screen, and, you know, the enemy is coming towards you and trying to shoot you and blow you up, and you shoot them back, which pretty much describes Call of Duty or Halo or the Crisis trilogy or anything. Essentially, you are at that point in the screen, and everything just comes towards you. Instead of coming down from the top of the screen, it comes towards us now. But it's essentially everything. However, it's all dressed up very fancy. There's some great storylines, fantastic voice acting, all of that good shit. But you're still playing Space Invaders.
I mean,
in many ways.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm still up for Space Invaders every time I go to an arcade like that. That's always like the first game I go to, no matter what. Because it's just one of them things I do enjoy quite a lot. Like I always remember I already had it on my computer quite a lot. I remember my granddad getting me this retro gaming disc, and it had a bit of everything on it. Like it had Tetris and that, and Space Invaders was the most hours I put into it. I think I spent, oh god, if I can remember, about 180 hours into Space Invaders, and that must have it took me into nights, and it took me into months, and that was when I was younger though. That was about like when I was 6 or 7, so it's going back a long time.
Fantastic. So do you have a is it possible, I'm not going to ask you for a favorite game, I mean, unless you have an outright your favorite game ever, which is a ridiculously terrible question, but do you have a favorite genre?
Well, we could be here for 12 hours with this. No, I think for me, I'm actually glad this question popped up, because I can actually say like which ones I don't like to narrow it down. So I'll say like I'm not really into these type of games, but don't get me wrong, I would love to play them, but I need to put like proper hours into it. So like games like Elden Ring and Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, anything like that, I can't get into specifically, because it's all like you know, you see a character at the bottom, it's like got that camera right at the top, like it kind of has that overhead view, and I really can't get into them, and it's just the fact that I rage a lot on games, I really do, and
anyone says they doesn't, they're lying. I will
yeah,
show you
exactly. We've all had a rage
don't.
moment, no matter what. We've all had a rage moment, and if you haven't, then you're clearly bullshitting. But they really are.
If the game's any good, there should be one. If there's only one, there should be one to get, because you should be immersed and you should care, and the real world melts away, and you really are going to die. You know, so you know when if you're in a boss fight or something, you know, and you're just like motherfucker this, motherfucker that, or, you know, it's because you feel that shit. Your heart rate's going, and you're sweating.
I remember my mum like knocking on my door, like because I was playing I was playing Last of Us Part 2, and I was replaying that, and I mean, it was one game that, I'll tell you this, it was the one game I didn't want to play for a very long time, because, of course, I don't want to say what happens if people haven't played it, but there's a certain part, like, you get 2 hours in, and something really bad happens, and I was like, you fucking bastards. I screamed it on top of my lungs. Like, how the fuck could you do this? And she's knocking on the door. I'm like, I'm not hearing her. I've got my headphones on. The cutscene is playing, and it's like, you get into the game a bit more, and you're playing as the person that's killed the certain character. I'm like, why the fuck am I playing as that person? Why am I not out there trying to kill them? I don't want to play this anymore. And I was like that. And luckily, you play the game a bit more and you understand why the character did it. You understand the motive. You go through all the pain, the backstory, and why they had that certain mission to do what they did. And towards the end of the game, you do feel sorry for them out of all the shit that they've been through. And that's the best thing about character development. I feel like, certainly with The Last of Us, really, they really do a good job with the characters, like Joel, especially. Like Troy Baker, who plays Joel, has played many characters over the video games. He's my all-time favorite voice actor. I think he does a brilliant job, and the way that he portrayed Joel felt like he was a real person, and that was the best thing to play. You want one of these games where they feel real and not just plain, and you can actually relate to them, and that's probably why it's still one of the strongest games going.
So did you watch the TV show, or did you just think, I've seen it, I don't need that?
See, this is the thing with me and TV shows and video games. I always play the video games first, because I actually do want to feel, just in case if they do make a TV show. I mean, look at The Witcher. That's had a Netflix show, and yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I can get into it, but The Last of Us TV show, you could tell they were going to add a lot more in, and with the characters and the lore of the virus. Especially episode 1, when, like, it was in the beginning and they were talking about the fungus and that, how it can spread, how it can grow, and how people get infected by it. And then you got to episode 2 before the infection started, and you saw how it all began with, like, this corpse, and like this fungus strain was coming out of this woman's mouth, and then you know how it happens. And in episode, I don't want to talk about episode 3. It always makes me cry. Episode 3, it really does.
Yeah, so you enjoyed then, the best. You enjoyed both versions so far that we've had.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for season 2 when that comes out. I think it's next year. I'm pretty sure it comes out.
Yeah, the strike delayed everything, but they were right to do so.
Yeah, but the thing is, I actually want season 2 to be broke off into 2 seasons. Like, you have part 1 then part 2, because if you look how long the Last of Us game is, the second one especially, it's about, I think it's about 40 hours, about 40 to 50 hours, and that's a lot to put into, like, maybe 1 season, considering, like, season 1 only had, I think, about 12 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like part 2 can end with a cliffhanger. You come back next year for the second part of that game, and then when Last of Us 3 eventually gets announced, we can focus on that. We can, get into more the backstory and all the characters and that, see if anyone returns.
Yeah, so we were supposed to be trying to find your favourite genre.
Sorry.
or your least favourite genres.
Yeah. Right, yeah, we'll get back into that. I say FPS as well, but I'm first-person shooters quite a lot. Call of Duty, Battlefield, anything like that. I've mostly played Call of Duty all my life.
Now,
Uh,
now we're talking multiplayer or campaign,
Campaign.
or you're both.
I
Okay.
I can't stand multiplayer. I really can't.
Well, I can't.
Um,
I'm too old now. I used to play quite a bit of Halo
yeah,
back in the day. But yeah, now my like reaction times are shot to shit as an also. It's just not an option really. Shooters certainly multiplayer. Some sort of like team-based exploration kind of games or whatever can be fun with friends. But yeah, you don't want me on your multiplayer shooter team these days.
yeah.
I
You
wouldn't
don't
even
want me
bother.
on your team as
So
well. I'm proper dog
yeah,
shit.
which kind of causes me an issue, like with a lot of FPSs that come out, because like the only content I'm getting out of this game is the campaign, but I
Yeah,
don't get any money knocked off when I'm buying it
yeah,
for
true,
that.
true.
So there's a kind of, that value for my hard-earned dollar is a little bit different, which has made me kind of veer away from the genre a little bit in recent times, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like because I've played the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the one that came out last year,
Yeah,
and yeah, I was really disappointed in that, and that's what's kind of put me off first-person shooters for now, especially with Call of Duty. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of fantastic COD games, especially World War II, that was fantastic. Black Ops Cold War, even going back to Black Ops 1 and 2, they were fantastic. But there was something about Modern Warfare 3 being with, like, I don't want a rushed first-person shooter. Like, I want a good, detailed, clean story where it's like I can get used to the characters again if they're returning, if they're new.
yeah.
But I think the one thing that does piss me off a little bit with first-person shooters is you get used to a character and 5 seconds later they're either dead or they're captured, and then you don't know what happens to them.
Very true. Very, very true. So what about, so can I let's see if we can tie this question down then. Do you have what's your current sort of hardware of choice?
So
You do a console or PC?
I've always been a console person. I mean, like earlier, like when I said got a PlayStation 2, I've always been a PlayStation person. I've had PS2, 3, 4, currently have 5. I've been trying to save up for like a PC, a laptop, and that because most of my friends are like recommending it to me to like play online with them quite a lot. But I think there's something like I've got like something like me hands like I'm more of like holding my controller instead of like using a mouse and keys to like move about, and it's just more simple to be honest. And the best thing about it is like you can get a more range of games on a console than you can have with a PC, and that for me, like, because there is definitely exclusives to a console, especially with PlayStation. You got like God of War, you can't play that on PC. Last of Us, you can't play it on PC. Even the new Spider-Man games that have just recently come out, you can't play them on PC. Well, I think you can actually. You can play one of them or two of them, but it just depends on like what you can play, and it's a certain way saying like what you do want to play and what you do like to get into, really.
So so you're a PlayStation guy. That's perfectly fine. That's okay. Um, any Xbox people watching, don't be fucking hating in the comments. That's bullshit. Don't buy into that crap. We're all just gamers, and it's all just fun. It's
We're all one
ridiculous. I've
community
never.
here, so don't. I've got friends on Xbox. I'll say that I've
We
got
can
friends
be
on Xbox.
friends. So back to retro gaming. Do you have do you lean a certain way with retro gaming? To Sega or Nintendo, or do you have a preference?
Uh, Not really. I mean, it's just the fact like if I see a game that looks really cool to me, I would play quite a lot. I feel like at some point the retro gaming aspect can come back to life, really, and like especially with my generation who didn't really grow up on like going to arcades all the time and going to playing like like first ever video game was like Pong or something, and that was like in the 70s,
Yep.
and that was simple. There's something like that where if you've just been born in this era, you need to experience what games were like back then instead of now. Especially when it comes to like what you said, like Space Invaders, that fantastic game, Pac-Man, Sonic. I said like maybe Crash Bandicoot if anyone's not ever played that game. That's fuel and raged. I'll say that now. Cannot play the new games because I ended up nearly smashing my TV over playing one of them, and yeah, no, like that was insane because there was always that. It wasn't even the boulder bit, I'll tell you. It was always the fact I always kept jumping too early and I always fall down the hole because the camera was like you were running towards the screen and there was nothing you could do. And that was probably one of the funniest bits when my mates always used to like see me play all the time.
So it's been 7 years you've been trying to do this YouTube shit. So do you have to like make a play a game to make a YouTube video as like separate to your recreational gaming, or can you just mix the two? You feel like gaming, well, I may as well record it while I'm at it and I'll make a video.
Yeah.
Or do you have to do it? Do you have to set time aside specifically for your channel?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of shit. This it really is, and I blame myself for getting into it. But it's the one thing that helps me escape really from reality. So I mainly play a lot of single player games on my channel, and that's kind of one of the best ways to express myself about what I play in like show like the whole community on YouTube in gaming and that to say like, oh, you know what, this guy does a lot of gaming walkthroughs, and all that, and he seems kind of good, but not too great, and that's what I kind of get the impression of sometimes. I mean, I've been doing this shit for 7 years. I didn't start off well, and now I mean, I'm on like 1.15k subscribers, which is cool. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm still loving to do it. But it depends on the type of content that people really do want to see. And I record every day. I don't get a lot of free time to play games because I mean, just before joining you, I've recorded about 4 videos. I have done all that. I've edited them. They are ready to upload whenever I want. And I guess like because I live stream as well quite a lot, and I get people to come onto the chat to talk about what they like about the game. And the one thing that fucks me off, I always get people to spoiling the game. I always do. Because I play it a month later after the release because I've not got time to play that game. I'm still playing the other game from the other month. I had, oh god, I remember last year when I was playing Hogwarts Legacy, and I was only on part 1, and I got like, I think I was like an hour in, and I had some guy who gave me a lecture in my stream, telling me the whole ending, and I'm like, why? Why do you do that? Why do you, they want to get a reaction out of you? I get that, but don't be that asshole that just spoils it for everyone else. I mean, you don't go and do it to everyone else, I guess, but you just go and do it like to small streamers, so they've got nothing to look forward to.
I know someone who was trying the Twitch option.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, and it was like the idea was, well, I like gaming. I'm good at game. I'm just gonna, get a decent setup.
Yeah.
Get plugged in and just stream it. You know, I'm going to play what I want to play when I want to play it, and I'll just hit the red button, and so be it. Try and basically ignore people while I'm playing. Occasionally, take a little break, maybe interact with the chat and stuff. Get back. Get to the end of the chapter. Go. That's enough for today, guys. Bye. Not really put on a show. Just play some fucking games.
Yeah.
Maybe make some friends. No big deal.
You're there to have a good time, though. That's the only thing. You're there to have a good time. You're there to basically entertain anyone that hops into the chat that watches you play the game, and but you do get a lot of negativity towards it because, like, yeah. I mean, like, I've had it before, and I was streaming a few years ago. I was playing. I don't know. I was playing like Far Cry, something like that, and I kept dying a lot. I'm not the best at games, and not everyone is good at games. I mean, you die in every game that you get, and no matter what difficulty it is. And I've always had like this one guy that's saying, like, "Oh, you're shit. You're not better than this guy." And that puts me off live streaming most of the time because I don't want that negativity on the channel.
When you're not an asshole, it just defies all your logic circuits. How someone can be wired up like that? Why would you do that? It's like, if I'm just stop watching. If I'm that bad, I'm obviously not entertaining, and you're obviously not going to learn any tips and tricks, from watching me because I'm shit. So just off your fuck. It's not a problem. I don't mind. Go watch somebody else. But you're still here, like an hour later, and still talking shit.
But buddy, you're still giving me views, mate. So if you want to pop in and out of the stream, then go and keep calling me shit. You're still giving me views. So there we go.
Yeah,
it's your problem.
I mean, yeah, you're very humbly saying you're not the greatest gamer in the world. You enjoy it, and everybody dies, as you said. And that's totally true. But just like the other artists, I speak to the musicians, the painters or whatever that I have on here. You're allowed a little bit of ego, you got a certain amount of confidence. It's okay. It's not an evil thing.
No.
To put it out there, to be doing what you do, to have to put yourself out there in a position where someone can contact you and tell you that you're shit. So you got to think, because if you really thought I'm a terrible gamer, like, I would never do it. I would think, who would want to watch me, getting spawn killed all the time or whatever, wandering around in circles, trying to find the fucking blue key or whatever it is I'm after, when it's everybody screaming in the chat, it's right there, and I'm not reading the chat because I'm like intense on the game.
Yeah, you're more focused on the game. Yeah, you're more focused on the game than the chat at that point. So, like, I do remember playing the Resident Evil 2 remake because, like, I thought to myself, like, if it's a longer game, I'm not going to do videos on it. I made that bad option with Last of Us Part 2 from last year. That took me about 40 parts to do, all my videos. And I thought, like, you know what? I'm going to live stream Resident Evil 2 remake because it's just come out, and I think, like, I'm going to get some people on it. First time playing it as well, because I didn't really play the original Resident Evil 2 growing up. So I'm like, oh, I'm new to this and stuff and all that. So, like, just give me a chance and that. And it's a remake, I'm not going to get used to all these controls. And I think I had someone screaming in the chat, you're looking for the diamond key. I'm like, what do you mean I'm looking for the diamond key? I'm not. I'm trying to just get outside, aren't I? So, no. You need a diamond key. And I'm like, I'm running around. I think I took about half an hour. I ran around the whole station. I'm like, wait, what am I looking for? And it says, and he goes onto the channel and says, like, I'm like looking up and down, like he's put everything, like it's in the office. What fucking office? This is a police station. They have a lot of office in here, and I'm like, oh Christ Almighty! So I'm going back to my main objective. I've got this big fucker after me, Mr. X. I've got him after me at the same time. So I'm like, oh, I've got him. I'm looking for a blue key. I'm trying to get outside. And he goes on like, oh, you're not at that part yet. And I'm like, you kidding me? I'm not at that part. What part am I up to? It says you're up to the part where you need to go outside. You think, what the fuck have I been doing for the past hour?
Yeah, the internet's fantastic. Yeah,
It is. It
it's great.
is.
You
I
can,
can't fault it.
it's like anything. It's like all the time I spend. It's something that, I mean, I spent way too long trying to be a rock star in different bands, and through that, I met like the best and the worst people that I've ever met. And now with the internet, it's much the same. It's much the same. You've got to try not to be put off, because for every arsehole, there's some really beautiful souls out there. There really is.
Oh, oh yeah.
We've got to stick at it, really, because it's stupid. There's a lot of people I don't want to get too political or ranty or anything, but people start, you know, some terrible things happen, and there may have been some form of internet or social media somewhere in between.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, someone posted a video somewhere. Someone saw that video, didn't like it, told them they were ugly, told them they were fat, told them they were shit at it. Person can't handle that. Worst case scenario happens, and it's like, ban the internet. It's like, fucking no. Like, that's horrible, but that person is entirely to blame. The middleman of the internet in between, has absolutely nothing to do with it.
No.
It kind of really bugs me. Like, I hate these stories, and I hate that these terrible things happened to a lot of people, especially like young girls.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's fucking
It's
soul destroying.
terrible, Paul.
But the arseholes are arseholes, and you can find out who they are. You're not as anonymous as you think you are most of the time on the internet, especially when you're just an arsehole. They haven't gone to those particularly great lengths to hide their identity as much as they think they have, just because you're called XX knobhead XX.
Yeah.
The powers that be, if they really wanted to, if everything was funded properly in an ideal world or whatever, they could fucking trace you and your IP or whatever and find you, and they could deal with you instead of saying, "Oh no, Facebook should be banned," or whatever platform, should be banned. It's just ridiculous. People are fucking horrible. The internet's fine. It's just there. It facilitates horrible people to do horrible things, but they're horrible people who are going to do horrible things with or without the internet, is the way I look at it. So, like, it annoys me a little bit.
Yeah, I had that problem a few years back when I first started, and it was just a few months after my granddad died, and people personally knew me as well, so they were like, they were calling me granddad loads of things and all that, and they were calling me everything like above the fucking sun, and it was the one part that like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna put with this shit, and I didn't do my channel for think about like 2 months because the people that actually I knew them as well. I knew him personally who put them things at the time, and I thought like, oh, you're meant to be my mate and stuff. You're meant to be there to support me no matter what. And now you're just putting all this fucking shit about that's not even true. So you can go fuck yourself, and I'm not talking to you again, mate. You're done. You're out of my life.
Problem solved.
And yeah, and it's just one of them bits. Like, cause I deal with I've got mental health issues and that, and that's the one bit that really got to me. I suffer from anxiety and that, and the one bit that really gets to me is when people talk about my family. I'm trying to defend them much I can, and there are people that will just take it to the next level and just fuck me off in any way that they can.
Well, this is what I mean. This is the broken record that gets played on every Sniktcast episode. Is just whatever your chosen form of self-expression, whether it's your gaming YouTube channel, your for photography, your collection, your music, whatever it is that you do, that therapy. It's very cliche, but it is.
Yeah.
That self-expression is you're all so brave when you put it out there in public. I think everybody like has a hobby or something or some way to get out of themselves or something that centers them or whatever. But not all of us, put it out there for other people's consumption and debate over whether it's actually any good or not and all that. And all of you that do that, you're all incredibly brave, and it's genuinely inspiring, or should be. It is for me, and I think it should be for everybody. And if you look how fucked the world kind of is right now, and doesn't seem to be righting itself anytime soon.
Yeah.
The other thing I keep saying is all this art, all this self-expression, we need it. We need it more than ever. And if it inspires someone else to go do it as well, and all of that, we need it.
Yeah, we do. Any type of support that we need and that, and I'm into like communities and we're all into like one group chat. We all talk about our issues. We're all there for each other, even if you don't really personally know them.
Yeah.
They could be going through the same exact emotions as what you are, and that's the best thing. You don't feel alone then, and I feel like I'm in a lot of gaming communities on PlayStation, and that's the best thing really for me. And I feel like I could talk to these people. Like, I don't know them, but we sit back, we relax, we have a laugh, we talk about what's going through our mind, and that's about it. And
I think there's people sort of like on the outside don't quite understand quote unquote the gamer. When you think like locked in your room in the dark for hours on end by yourself. A lot of us were very much not by ourselves when we're doing that, and that's another, again, a great thing, especially now with the internet more than ever. That the video gaming creates these communities. Like I said, for every arsehole you get in that chat, you make some friends for life.
You do, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's probably one of the best things that like can keep me going to like this very day, no matter what.
So let's try and get things back up and energized a little bit before you have to go. I said you've maybe got about an hour or so. So
got about like 10 minutes.
Kind of ridiculously encroaching on that already.
Yeah.
So toy collector as well.
Yeah.
Right. So toys, right? So toy collector. So actual like toys, like toys like board games or toys or action. We were talking more action figures, Funkos. A bit of everything, no doubt.
Funkos, definitely. I have got boxes full of Funkos. I must have like at least over 300 or something like that. I've still got some that are in their actual boxes as well, like special edition ones. It kind of varies. Like I had a serious problem with them. I started out collecting them like a few years back, and the first ones I ever got was like a Batman Arkham Asylum Joker, and I got a X-Men '97 version of Wolverine. And I thought, like, you know what? I put them on my shelves, and you know what? The shelves look bare. I had like about 5 shelves, and
you need some
you need to make some friends. Like, what happens if those two like start falling out, and then you need a middleman? So yeah, I started collecting them for a very long time, and still in good condition as well. I mean, they're very from Marvel to DC to video games.
Well, that's the thing with the Funkos. At this point, everybody's been Funkoed, right? Anything, any franchise, anything, they've got to be calling me and you anytime soon, right? They've got to be getting to the bottom of that barrel.
Yeah.
Where at some point it's like, well, he's got like, over like 1.15, K subscribers. He'll do.
Yeah.
Like we've got to be getting that call soon.
Oh,
Because
Oh yeah,
what's left? I know they do all the like variations and things. Like see some cool like they do like gingerbread versions and shit for Halloween or Christmas, I think, or something.
yeah.
And like they're super cute and all that. So it's like there's a million versions of everybody, but there really is pretty much everybody. Whatever your fandom is, there's chances are there is a Funko out there.
I mean, speaking of which, when you just said gingerbread one, I've got a 4 pack of Marvel gingerbread ones as well, for Christmas ones and that. Yeah, but like there was gonna be when they first started, they all had the same pose and the
Yeah.
same eyes, and then you see them now, and they're in different clothing, they're in different stances, and they actually do look like uh, the people who they like look like in the TV shows or the actors that play them in real life, and I think that's what gets me a little bit. I mean, I think the most I've got on my video game ones, they are very rare to come by. You have to go to certain shops for them, and I've got like some like Five Nights at Freddy's, and I've got some from Witcher, and there's been one that I've been after for quite a long time. It's a Ratchet and Clank one, and that's very rare. You can't get it anymore, and you go online and it's like someone's selling it for about 600 quid, and I said I'm not paying for it.
I was going to ask, is there a holy grail that you're searching for, and I don't need to ask?
Yeah, no, there's quite a few actually. There's one that Sly Cooper a little bit. That's such an underrated game now, and I saw it on Amazon like a few months back, and I wish I got it now, and you can't get it anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank 2-pack with Ratchet and Clank in it. Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, they're very rare ones to come by, and it's like, yeah, they're not going to remake them anytime soon, and you kind of wish you had the opportunity to get them, and you think like,
I mean, these things, like everybody's got one. Not everybody's got 300,
yeah,
but like everybody's got one. Like if you didn't buy it, somebody bought it you for birthdays, Christmas, whatever special occasion, just because they love you. Somebody bought you one. So like, I think everybody's got one. You know, which for a lot of people quickly sparked a bit of an obsession, somewhat possibly unhealthy obsession.
oh, it's an
An awful
addiction.
lot more. Yeah, because they make bank. I mean, they have. There's a theme park. They have their own. There's Funko World.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a thing.
yeah.
Like what? We've been making like action figures and like statues, memorabilia of this shit like forever. As long as there's been stuff to make stuff of, certainly since George Lucas taught everybody that merchandising's a thing.
Yeah.
Certainly after the Star Wars toys went fucking the way they did.
God, yeah.
Back in the day, it's everybody's tried to merchandise everything, but it took right until the relatively recent times of these Funkos, that everybody knows that name, knows that word, knows what they are, can tell you what they are, can describe them, and has at least the one, to the point that these guys can open up a theme park in their own honor.
Yeah.
with the kind of ironicness of like 60-foot fucking Funkos.
True.
Which one day will be up for sale at some point when the park's going to be demolished, and imagine what they're going to bring at auction.
God.
Like the kind of 60-foot Captain America Funko. Jesus Christ.
There's going to be that one person that would like have all the money in the world, just be at that auction and think like, I'm fucking getting that thing. Like it's like a 11-foot Captain America that you want to put in your garden or something like that.
My guess is Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
If anybody.
Nicolas Cage, yeah. So, in fact, that is actually, well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think Nicolas Cage is the one I have not seen turn into a Funko, like, in the slightest. I mean, there may have been one, but I've never seen one at all, like... and it's crazy thinking about it. And I've got a lot that are actors and that, like, I've got Henry Cavill in the black Superman suit, and I've got Ryan Reynolds in his Deadpool outfit, and you never seen anything to do with Nicolas Cage. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love him. Like, I think he's a good actor, but he deserves more love. He deserves to be funkinized.
Yeah, you'd think of the people that have been. It seems a bit of a kind of, not a glaring omission, perhaps, but like, yeah, I'm going to be Googling that. That's my homework for
Yeah,
tonight. So.
yeah. You need to let me know if they actually have one. I mean, he did a film a few years back called I think a couple of years ago, called Mandy.
Yeah.
And that was a good film. I felt like I was high during that film, and I thought, you know what, he should have got one for that. I'm thinking,
yeah,
has he got
chainsaw,
one for that?
The chainsaw duel alone warrants deifying in plastic or vinyl in some way. So if we're actually running out of time already, which is crazy, I'm going to do let's go through the sort of quick fire section. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Pizza or kebab?
Pizza.
Ooh. City living or country retreat?
Ooh, city living.
Oh, way back. See, everybody picks country retreat to the point that I have to say, everybody's in the country. It may as well be the city. The guys in the city got the quiet life now.
Yeah, I need to be in an area where there's people. I can't go country living where it's all quiet. No. I need to have noise.
Okay, so on to the big questions. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Oh, okay. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Mortal Kombat.
See, everybody usually says Tekken. Just to piss me off. And wait for the guy that says Soul Calibur will get a prize.
Yeah.
Tekken's too obvious. Right, so if aliens landed in your back garden, not the White House, your house, this is first contact scenario, what question would you ask?
Oh wow. Typically not the most simple one. Oh God, I'm just trying to think. Why are they here? Why are you in my back garden? So like, I'll probably ask them if they want a cup of tea or something.
Yeah.
So just be generous. Don't act all hostile and show him like a gun or like a broomstick or something. Offer him something.
Fantastic. I'm just killing time. I'm thinking if he's got to go, I want to set something off and keep you any longer than you want to be here. So, kids, this Stanfordplays, the name of the channel. So how do you get from Jack Davies to Stanford Plays games? What's that about?
Good question. I've always been wanting to ask this one. Like 7 years in the making, no one has asked me.
Really?
Yeah, generally, like that. No one's been bothered to ask me how I got the name. So there was a show called Gravity Falls years ago.
Oh,
my favorite show growing up, and Stanford Pines came in, and I thought, you know what, he's a really cool character. J.K. Simmons, he's one of my favorite actors, and you know, it was kind of like one of them things where it's like the name stuck with me quite a lot. So everyone used to just call me Stanford from when I started, never Jack anymore. 7 years later, I'm still called Stanford. Yeah.
That's the way of the internet. We put a tag up there, and then that becomes us.
That's it, yeah.
I could talk for a lot longer, but I know that you can't. So, I'm trying to think of the sort of quick things. So, what's an upcoming game that you're looking forward to getting?
It's not till next year, but Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah,
it's got to be. Been waiting 10 fucking years for a new GTA.
It's not I'm gonna be like hot take. I'm not much of a GTA fan, to be honest, but the people who are, yes, I sympathise. You've been waiting an awfully long time.
Awful long time.
Disappoint. I really hope it doesn't disappoint you. I hope it's so good that I want it. You know,
10 to 12 painful years.
I think it needs to be that good, doesn't it? It needs to be this global phenomenon that your mom, your gran, you know, that everybody just wants to be played, it kind of anything short of a global phenomenon, and it's a failure, even if it sells fucking millions of copies and makes
It's either going to be good. It's either going to be good. It's going to be bad. It just depends on how well it's been made.
I mean, they are promising it to be sort of like genre defining. They're saying all the like buzzwords that I guess everybody wants to hear. So they're going to have to put the money where that mouth is.
Yeah,
Ready,
definitely.
or they're going to get slammed. I mean, for me, especially with gaming, people are far too quick to hate on perfectly good games. Everybody seems to want everything to be like state of the art, mind blowing, and something you've never seen before. And it's like only when you get that leap in technology and like the hardware do we get a few things that like we've never seen before.
Yeah,
and then obviously it settles, and then you get that jump again.
true. Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of hate, and it is hate. It's not even like it was a bit meh. It's like, no, people hate on it. People have to go to extremes on perfectly good, enjoyable, fun, playable games that, yeah, it's not, like all the character models are like all fucking janky or whatever. And it's like, they're not. They're just not super lifelike. They look like video games.
Yeah.
What with it being a video game, I didn't mind. I kind of expected the video game characters to look like they were in a video game. I was okay with that, And I think there's a lot of perfectly good games that kind of get bombed. That's why I always say I never do reviews. The one thing I won't do with the Snikt brand is I don't do reviews. Not in that kind of 5 out of 10 kind of a way. I talk about things I like, which is to say a review, obviously. But as soon as you start putting that kind of rating on something, it's like telling someone whether they should or shouldn't play it, or watch it, or listen to it. And I would never tell anyone else what they should or shouldn't be doing with their entertainment and their leisure time.
Yeah, it's kind of like
my opinion. Your opinion could be completely different.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I finish a series. So like I'm recording the last bit, I go to the credits. I give my honest feedback about it. I don't go and say like, oh, you should go and play this game because I liked it. You should only go and play a game if you like it, like if it's interesting in you. Don't have my opinion influence on yourself. Like, you go and play the game, you see what it's like, and you tell me what you thought about it. I'm not the one for heated debate on like, oh, I'm going to say it's really good, I enjoyed it. They're going to say, oh, it's proper shit and that, and it's like, I don't want to be that type of person. So I'm glad to say like I don't get many people asking about my opinion.
I just feel like there's so little honest opinion with things like when it comes to, it's just entertainment. Whether it's video games or movies, all the kind of review YouTube channels, I like, they're just bandwagon jumping one way or the other. I feel like they think whatever's the clickbait video, whether it's to hate on a thing because it's woke or whatever, or to love a thing because it's flavor of the month right now. And it's like, that's not what you think. That's somehow we create these like media bubbles, and they're just going along with that. And we all want likes and subscribers and maybe some sponsorship and whatever. It'd be nice, but I'd prefer your opinion, your actual fucking opinion. Would be much better. And I think it's really obvious to tell that that's what they're doing. That they're just probably repeating something that someone else said on their channel or that they read, somewhere, and it's not their opinion. They've probably not. Quite possibly, I see a few, and I'm pretty sure they've never even actually played it. Maybe they watched the trailer, got the general internet vibe, and then they're putting up fucking content.
Yeah, I'll say this as one last thing as well, because like you get people reviewing games like IGN and Watch Mojo, and it's like, have you really played the games? Have you actually sat down for a few hours? You actually got into the story, or you got into the combat, or whatever the game you're playing. And then you're giving it like a 4 out of 10 or something like that. Are you sure you're not being a little mean and like you're not giving the game a chance? I mean, say because AAA games as well, that like with IGN, I've got no idea what they're like over there, but they give AAA games the lowest rating, and then you get like an indie game that gets like the highest review, and you think like. I mean, I'm not shitting on indie games. I absolutely love them, but you think like that these people have really got no honest opinion about what has just come out, especially with movies and stuff like that, and everyone, like what you said, everyone jumps on the bandwagon. Everyone like goes with like, oh yeah, if they said it's shit and all that, I'm not playing it, I'm not watching it. You need to do it for yourself. You just do not listen to what other people have said and what they've wrote and they reviewed and that. You have your own opinion. You go do what you want. You say what you want, and that's it. End of. Done.
There you go, kids. That's a great way to end. That's all you needed to know. Common sense. Do it your fucking self.
That's it. Do it fucking self. Done.
And play the game, watch the movie, read the book. Just do it. If it interested you, the title, the synopsis, the cover art, whatever it was, well, get it and do it. Watch it, play it, whatever. See for yourself. Make up your own fucking mind. It's not. We all have them. You know, it's people need to start using them a bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely, because I don't know shit, and he doesn't know shit. We'd have a lot more subscribers than what we've got if we actually knew what we were talking about.
I'll say I don't know everything, so not everyone knows everything. So just have it to yourself and just that's it.
Yeah, this guy's been playing Suicide Squad. What the fuck?
Hey, you could come at me. Hey, guys, you say what about Suicide Squad? I fucking love the game. I fucking love it.
You know, can I just say it's I have seen things where it's been compared to Sunset Overdrive, which was like an Xbox game back in the day. I'm not sure how it was readily available, so I don't know if you played it. An Xbox game, but I really love that. Yeah, so someone saying, "Oh, it's like a spiritual successor to Sunset Overdrive, but with DC characters."
Yeah,
I'm kind of like, well, I'm in then. I haven't bought it, I haven't played it, so I don't know. But like that, I'd be curious. That makes me look.
People got the wrong end of the stick as well for that game because the Suicide Squad game is set in the Arkham verse with all the Arkham games. Something that has clearly been different over the years to what Suicide Squad is, but it doesn't matter. You play for the first time ever. You're playing as DC villains in a video game, in a shooter game, and you're taking down the Justice League. What else could you have? You're gonna get your ass kicked if you haven't got superpowers by Superman and like Green Lantern and the Flash. I mean, Batman's just a guy in a suit. Fair enough, but you need to like state the obvious when you are actually playing them type of games, and it's like the ones that you do enjoy. And yeah, I mean, you've got like King Shark, he has superpowers. Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang doesn't, but. There you go. You are killing the Justice League in the end. The clue's in a fucking title. Just try and enjoy it. Don't take it so seriously.
There you go. Well, if you got to go with a smile.
Yeah, that's it. Cheers, man. Really appreciate the time.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. We'll do it the other way around sometime, maybe.
Yeah. When I get my podcast sorted out, we'll do it like that, mate. Yeah, awesome.
Excellent.
All right, nice one. Everyone, remember at Stanfordplays on YouTube, 1.15p subscribers, trying to hit 2K by the end of the year. Let's try and get it.
Yeah, it's achievable.
Yeah, nice one. All right, cheers, mate. Thank you. Ace, mate.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been awesome. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no, you hang up. And there he goes. Well, kids, that was Jack Davies of Stanford, Stanford, Stanford Plays. Stanfordplays, check out his channel. He's got some good shit on there, some great walkthroughs. Oof. That YouTube grind is probably a longer, harder grind than most video game grinds you're going to play. So good luck to him with that. Definitely a nice guy. There's not a lot to say. There's not a lot to say now, all on my lonesome. It's February the 29th, and the kind of the daily Snikt stuff, the film releases of this day, celebrity birthdays on this day that I could talk about for a while. See, the thing is, this day doesn't happen very often, the whole leap year thing. So therefore, not a lot happens on this day for somebody like me to talk about. So, I mean, unless anyone wants to send me a request, you want to have a chat for half hour, 45 minutes or something? That could be cool. We could do that. Otherwise, I think I might sling me up. I don't know. So, yeah, video games. I was, as I was saying, old school. I'm a grey, old, miserable old man. I do like the new stuff. I do play. I play games casually. I mean, I play a lot, but I play casually. I'm not a 10 hours a day kind of a guy. I'm not like particularly good. I don't focus enough on the right loadouts and gear and all of that. I kind of just want to have fun. In fact, as I've got older, as I mentioned, my reaction times are shot to shit. So, you know, kind of FPS and multiplayer stuff's completely out. So I've always had a thing for a good RPG. And the older I get, the more that's a thing. Because I can just be by myself, get immersed in a hopefully a fantastic world with a bunch of lore and learn and explore and fight, and that's pretty much the way it's going to go for me. So, you know, yeah, I think we're done. Anybody want to send me a request? We'll have some fun. We'll have a laugh. We'll have a chat. I don't care. We can talk about anything. Doesn't have to be gaming. We can broaden it out a little bit. Or we're done. Come on, you know you want to. Okay. So we're going to call it a day. I'm going to do this again next week. Have a fantastic musical guest next week, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Look out for that one. I'm going to start advertising for that right after I shut this off. It's going to be a good one. March in general is fire. There's some great stuff coming up. I'm looking forward to it anyway, and it's my show. It's all about me, so that's all that really matters. I'm going to have a ton of fun. If you join me, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. There's a million better things you could do than look at this face and listen to this voice. You know, like put hot needles in your eyes or have a wank with a cheese grater or something like that. It would be much more fun than this. But that was Jack Davies of Stanfordplays, gamer, YouTuber, toy collector. Stanfordplays. Go check out his channel. And as the sun sets slowly in the west, I bid you a fond farewell.